Hey everybody, it's Shane with Mud Hog Mafia again, and this is going to be our third installment on our 975 build. And today I'm going to show y'all how to install one of our new pistons on our new crank, attaching it to the rod. And these are one of the pistons that came out of the bike. These are approximately a stock Can-Am piston is like 91 millimeters. These new 12-to-1 pistons are 98 millimeters. I know it's hard to tell, but major difference in piston size. But first off, you're going to take one of your circlips that should have come with your piston, and you'll see that it's got a gap in it. When you snap these in, you either want the gap to be facing up or facing down. And on this one, I installed them facing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by sliding it in there and working it in. It's best if you use your fingers so you don't mar up the surface at all. Now that I've got it in there partially, I'm going to take my pick tool and go ahead and seat it. And just check all around, make sure it's seated. Now, you take your piston, take your wrist pin, slide your wrist pin in. These fit like a glove. Slide it all the way in, and now we're going to install our other circlip. This one's a little bit harder. There we go. Make sure she looks like she's, there we go. I'm gonna find my gap and rotate it to where she's facing up towards the top of the piston. Not sure if you can see that or not. But I'm gonna double check my circlips again. Everything looking good. We're gonna put a little oil on these where they make the connection. I'll tell you what, we'll do that before we put it in the engine case. Next, I'm going to show you, I've already attached the gasket to one side of the case, and I use some Permatex gasket maker to help hold it in place, mainly where you're going to cut the gasket, where the pistons come through and where the through shaft connecting the front drive shaft to the gearbox goes through. So I'm going to take a razor blade And I'm going to trim these off. And see if I can't get that a little bit better. There we go. Sorry, I apologize. I skipped this step and didn't include it in the video, but it's pretty easy. The gasket will only go on there one way, and I'd say it's dummy proof, but you never know. We're going to trim where the pistons come through now. And once again, you're just using the Permatex to help hold the gasket in place while you're putting everything together, and also where the gasket, where you separated it, it just helps create a better seal. One more. There we go. So next up, I'm gonna have Dylan put the camera down, and we're gonna start putting this bad boy together. You wanna hold that for a second? All right. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a couple drops of oil where the rods make connection to the crank, and also where the rods make the connection to the pistons. And this is regular engine oil, nothing special, but it's always a good idea to pre-lube some of these parts up before you install them. And we'll also put some on the crank where the engine case makes contact with it. It'll help lube those new crankshaft bearings up. Alrighty. Now, you'll also notice okay, so you need to make sure when you go to install the crank, this is going to be your stator side of the crank, and your front piston is going to be the one on the right side of the crank. This is your clutch side or PTO side of the crank, and this is your stator side of the crank. So when you go to slide this in, the pistons have to be configured like this because the cylinders are kind of offset a little bit. this all fits so tight. And there are alignment pins on each side of the cases that help you line this up. There we go. First thing we're going to install is there's 4 10mm bolts, and they are the bolts that go on either side of the jug. And I'm going to just finger tighten these initially. Once again, I'm just snugging these up by hand. Next up, there's going to be, I believe, a dozen or 12 8mm bolts. You have, I believe, 4 internal. Well, 6. You have 2 that go up here in the water jackets. Got to wipe my fingers off. I've got oil on them. And 2, 3, 4. we're going to tip this up a little bit to get a couple of these. Bottom one started here. Now I'm going to take my impact and lightly snug these down while doing a crisscross pattern. Just double checking I didn't miss anything. And don't forget your 410 millimeter at the top. There you have it. She's back together. Our next installment, we're going to install the jugs. We have to gap our piston rings, and because you got to make the decision whether or not you're going to run nitrous, and we will measure the tolerances with the piston at top dead center. So when you buy a Mr. RPM kit, you get 2 sets of head gaskets, and you gotta measure your tolerance of your piston in relation to the top of the jug, and that's how you know which gasket to run. And I hope maybe I've helped somebody out today, and I thank you very much for watching our video, and be sure to subscribe and like our YouTube channel, and also go to check out our Instagram and like and follow us as well. Until next time, over and out.